Greetings all. I'm Ken Thornton.
And I'm Deborah Thornton.
We are here to help you learn to speak English.
Renaissance Fair English.
Welcome to RenFairish for Dummies.
The first rule of this practice is don't be intimidated. You can absolutely do this. Start now, keep at it, and before you know it, it will all start to make sense and feel natural. Ken and I are here to help you practice. Use this video, use the web quizzes that we will post for you, and then join our live sessions on Zoom to practice in small groups as well.
Thou, thee, thy, thine.
Meaning you, your, and your or yours.
But dost thou know which thou shouldst use?
Meaning, do you know which you should use? If so, huzzah! This part of preparing for the fair will be easy for you since you are way ahead of most modern American English speakers already. By the way, most of our lane characters and volunteers don't have to speak like this all the time at the fair. Just sprinkle in some of it here and there to give your speech a Renaissance flavor. But please, when you do sprinkle it in, really try to do it correctly. Some of our patrons do actually know the difference, and even those that do not might enjoy learning something from hearing it done right.
Shall we begin?
By all means, proceed apace.
Thee is oblique.
What did you just call me?
No, not you. The pronoun thee is oblique.
Oh. It's what?
Oblique.
Can you say that in American?
Indirect, maybe?
He means it's an object, like him or her, but meaning you. So when you think about using the pronoun thee, ask yourself, if you were talking about someone else, would you use him or her? We say to thee or of thee, just like we would say to him or of her. You would not say, him is going to the market, or is her going to the festival? It sounds weird, right? That is how silly it sounds when someone accidentally uses thee as the subject of a sentence. So do not say, thee is going to the market, or is thee going to the festival? No! Just cancel it out in your brain and pretend you never ever heard it. Do not make this mistake. You would say, I shall see him at the market, or I shall see her at the festival, right? Similarly, you would say, I shall see thee at the market, or I shall see thee at the festival, to mean I shall see you at the market, or I shall see you at the festival. Make sense? Let's practice. How would you say, I can't hear you?
I cannot hear thee.
I shall give it to you.
I shall give it thee.
I dream of you.
I dream of thee.
My country, 'tis of you.
My country, 'tis of thee.
Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. You didn't sing that in school?
No.
No, not in England.
No.
You wouldn't have. No. All right, sorry. I'll not take it from you.
I'll not take it from thee.
Can I walk with you?
Might I walk with thee?
Above you?
Above thee?
Below you?
Below thee?
But it is above thy head or below thy feet. Why? Thy means your, as in belonging to you. Belonging to thee. Kind of like my means belonging to me, thy means belonging to thee. Get it? Me, my, thee, thy. Give me my book.
I shall give thee thy book, yet thou pretendest thou canst read. Give me my spoon.
I shall give thee thy spoon, for I want it not. Prithee, pass me my goblet.
I shall not pass thee thy goblet, for thou hast had enough to drink already, mistress. Tell me my fortune.
I shall tell thee thy fortune, sir. Thou shalt sleep cold this night, for thou hast denied me my wine. Use thy to say your name, your fault, your boot, your hair, your horse, your grandsire. They become thy name, thy fault, thy boot, thy hair, thy horse, thy grandsire. But we say thine eye or mine eye. Wait, why? Because the word I starts with a vowel, and any word that starts with a vowel, A, E, I, O, or U, or with a silent H, an H that is pronounced like a vowel, takes thine or mine instead of thy or my, so that it runs together, thine eye, mine eye. Example, who shall follow thee upon thy death? Who is thine heir? How about a mine example? Mine honor. Thou hast offended mine honor, and I shall be revenged upon thee. Thine also means yours. Is it thine means, is it yours?
Why, yes, it is mine.
And now we have for you a Dr. Seuss Renaissance story. Mine eye doth spy a gallant steed. Is he thine?
Thine eye doth spy my steed, indeed.
Wilt thou let me ride him, or wilt thou keep him to thyself?
I shall keep him for mine own self, as none other can sit him without being thrown.
So the first one is mine eye, because, of course, the word I starts with a vowel. Mine eye doth spy a gallant steed. Is he thine? Is he yours? So because we're saying yours, we use the word thine. Again with thine eye, because it starts with a vowel, thine eye, doth spy my steed indeed. Wilt thou let me ride him, or wilt thou keep him to thyself, yourself, thyself? I shall keep him for mine own self. Now you could say myself, but you wouldn't say my own self. You would say mine own self, just like to thine own self be true, because of the word own starting with a vowel. So I shall keep him for mine own self, as none other can sit him without being thrown. Here's another short conversation with me, mine, thee, thine. This purse, is it thine?
Why, yes, give it to me, it is mine.
I shall give it to thee as it is thine. See? Me, mine, thee, thine. It is your choice. It is thy choice. The choice is yours. The choice is thine. Talking about myself, I use the object pronoun me, to me, of me, about me, and the possessive pronouns my and mine. Talking about you, just one of you, not a whole group of you. Talking about you, I use the object pronoun thee, to thee, of thee, about thee, and the possessive pronouns thy and thine. Time for some practice questions. We'll give you about 10 seconds to decide which answer you think is correct before we show the correct answer and explain why. First question. How might one welcome a guest to the fair? The answer is B. We welcome thee wholeheartedly. Why? Well, we discussed before that thee is an object, not a subject. Saying thee is welcome here is equivalent to saying him is welcome here. We welcome thee wholeheartedly because we welcome you. We welcome thee, right? Howdy, come on in is just a little anachronistic. We aren't going to say that at the Renaissance Fair. How would you say, kindly remove your knife from my plate? The correct answer is C. Kindly remove thy knife from my plate. Why? Well, the first one, kindly remove the knife from mine plate, is wrong in two different places. The does not describe knife, it means you. Remove you knife, and it's not mine plate because plate does not begin with a vowel or a silent H. It would be my plate, right? The second one, kindly remove thine knife from mine plate. Mine plate is still wrong for the same reason, and thine knife is wrong for the same reason that mine plate is wrong, because knife does not begin with a vowel or a silent H. So it's kindly remove thy knife from my plate. How would you say, it is your fault? You would say either B or C. 'Tis thy fault, or the fault is thine. The first one is incorrect because thee means to you, basically, right? We're not going to say 'tis thee fault. Thy and thine are both possessive. So thy fault, your fault, or the fault is thine, the fault is yours. Either of those would be correct. But thee is not possessive, so it's not the right word to use before something that you're possessing, right? What might you say to disguise the fact that you are crying? You might say, there is dust in mine eye. That would be the proper way. If you're a pirate, you might well say, there be dust in me eye.
Or if you're from the west of England, so to this day, people would say, there be in the west country of England.
So, if you have a villager character who's maybe a little rough around the edges, a little unrefined, you might well speak that way. You might say, there be dust in me eye, as opposed to, there is dust in mine eye. As for answer C, I lost mine contact lens. Well, mine is wrong because contact lens doesn't start with a vowel or a silent H, but also contact lens is problematic in the Renaissance. How would you ask someone their name? The answer is C. What is thy name? Of course, you also could say, how are you called? How art thou called? Depending again on your character and the context. So the first answer, what is the name, was incorrect because the is an object, not a possessive. What is thou name is incorrect because thou is a subject pronoun. We'll be talking about that in the next unit coming up. Again, it's not possessive. It's like saying, what is you name? A and B are both saying, what is you name? The last one, what is thy name, is correct because thy means your. What is your name? That's the possessive pronoun. What do you brush in the morning besides your teeth, if you are fortunate enough to have any? You might say, my hair. So it would not be mine hair because hair starts with a pronounced H. It's not a silent H. So it's my hair. It's not mine air. We don't brush the air. We breathe the air. We don't brush it. So that's that one. Who stands to inherit thy wealth when thou dost croak? It's a good Renaissance verb, croak. Who put that in there? Was that you? You might say, mine heir. So, my heir is wrong because heir, the person who inherits heir, H-E-I-R, starts with a silent H, an H that's pronounced as a vowel. So we're going to go with mine heir. And of course it's not mein Herr. That's German. Wrong language. And that brings us to the end of part 1. For more practice, go to the web quiz. It has these questions and others that help you practice and expand the concept a little bit more. We'll put the link to the web quiz in the description or comments under this video on YouTube when we post it. Then proceed to part 2 to start learning about the subject pronoun thou and all those pesky ests and eths that tend to trip everybody up. We started touching on them a little bit in this unit, but we'll go into them in much more depth and really help you to understand them and practice them in part 2. Until then, fare thee well. 3, 2, 1. Greetings all.
I'm Ken Thornton.
And I'm Deborah Thornton.
And
Try
Give me
again.
my lines again.
Give you your lines. What did you do to the document? Where is it? Did you close it? Who touched it? Who touched the thing? There it is, right there.
Okay, good.
All right.
We
3,
are here.
2. Look at the dot. Not at yourself. 1. Greetings all.
I'm Ken Thornton.
Do it again. Don't laugh. 3, 2.